Welcome to Rainbow Six Siege X Dual Front, a new 6 versus 6 game mode that you are now able to play right now for the course of the weekend. First of all, we're going to have a little bit of a look at the map. As you can see here, it is ginormous. I had the pleasure and the privilege of playing this back in Montreal in November, and it genuinely feels almost like Tarkov-y if you've ever played Tarkov. The map is huge. There's so many different aspects. I can't wait to see how the map evolves as well. It is truly going to be unique and a unique, special new experience for Rainbow Six Siege. And the big thing, as you can see here, is that in the 6v6 game mode, you can mix attackers with defenders. That's right, you'll see attackers and defenders working together as one conjoined unit to try and beat their opposition. Maddest thing is when you actually see the attackers or defenders being able to repel. That is something which I really struggled to honestly get over when I played this game mode. But just seeing this sort of like trailer of these players, the attackers and defenders running around together, is absolutely unreal. It literally gives me goosebumps. But what we're going to look at now is a little bit of a gameplay of this new game mode. So as you can see here, up in the top left of your screen, you can see that the map is mirrored on both sides. It's not exactly identical, it's just sort of the similar sort of shape. And the game plan is almost like similar to, as you can see this man doing here, he's sabotaging the bomb. So what he's done there is he's put his kit down, and now similar to normal Rainbow Six Siege, once that diffuser goes off, that zone is now cleared. So the aim of the game is almost like demolition from COD. So what you want to do is you can't progress into a further section to successfully defuse the bomb in your opponent's zone. So what you want to do is you want to work with your team, and this is the key thing I realise, it's a very, very fine strategy between defence versus attack. Obviously it's 6 versus 6, but you can see you've got a blue and a red zone. You want to be trying to defuse your opponent's bomb or stopping them to defuse your bomb. And as you can see here, there's some really interesting sort of like synergies that you can now get working with the defenders on the same side of the attackers. One that I used when I played this earlier on was the use of a mirror window and then maybe like mavericking a hole. So even though you've got a mirror window, it's a hard wall, you can make little mav holes. So peek up from the mirror window, shoot for the mav holes. It's just the fact that we're working with defenders and attackers together. I mean, look at this. We've got a Glaz and a Warden dropping smokes, which is quite frankly unreal. That synergy of those two attackers, well, attacker and defender working together, is something which I think is going to make this 6v6 game mode hugely, hugely exciting. I also never understand why in all these trailers there's so many shotguns run when people have absolutely tremendous primaries, but it is what it is. But yeah, what we're showing you here is, moving on, it is a 6 versus 6 zone. So as you can see here, you start off, you've got one side to attack and one side to defend. So you want to try and push forward and try and gain this ground. And you can see these people being revealed. And the reason these defenders are revealed is because they have pushed too far forward into the enemy zone early. So sort of like when you get detected outside, if you're pushing into the zone early, your position is indeed going to be revealed. So you don't want to get aggressive too early until you can progress in towards that zone. But like I said, it's very similar to how demolition works in COD. So if you're not familiar with that, you destroy one bomb site, it lets you progress to the next one. And in this game mode, after you've destroyed 2, you can progress to the final bomb site. This is another thing that happens in the game. Almost similar to, you know, if you were playing League of Legends and you went and killed a boss somewhere and you gained some buffs, etc., etc. In this sort of dynamic event, Dockerby is hostage in the middle of the map. And what you need to do is you need to pick up Dockerby and get her to a safe zone to extract her. If you manage to pick up Dockerby and then you manage to extract her successfully, then I believe you get a capture boost speed to defusing one of your opponent's bombs. So it gives you extra speed in that. So it's sort of something which you need to balance out. Do we want to put our resources into going for this sort of limited time event in the middle of the map? Or do we want to just focus on the core mission at hand? And as you can see here, you can reinforce pretty much anywhere. You can barricade anywhere on the map. So as we can see this player here, what they're electing to do, the Nomad, is just trying to fortify their position before they go for this lengthy extraction of the Dokkaebi. The animation itself is pretty fucking cool. You've got a net laid down, you open it up, and you put Dokkaebi in there, and then you get your bonus. So something which you might want to do, something which you might not want to do. And as you can see here, attack enemy sectors, defend your own. So as you can see, you can hear the beeper going off. So this is their site that they're attempting to retake. So the opponents have made their way in. They've set down the diffuser to defuse the bomb, and you're there to try and counter-defuse it. So they're just killing the attackers slash defenders, I guess. The opponents, I should go with. And Glaz gets on the kit to deactivate it and keeps that bomb site alive, which stops the opponents progressing further to try and win the game. And I think it's just such a unique, different sort of feeling to Siege. When I played it, I was absolutely lost because the map is ginormous. But once again, we're seeing the same sort of thing here. You can see the kit going down, and I think that's going to be Twitch with the DMR just pushing on in. You can hear the beeper going off. Gets a couple of kills, pushes up. I was almost like I'm casting. But no, sorry, I should say this is them sabotaging. So this is them in the opponent's zone. So what they've done here is they've got the kit down, and similarly now they'll look to fortify the position. So it's a dynamic sort of relationship between attack versus defense, which is why I think it's so fantastic that you've got attackers with defenders, because you need to have both sides of that to your arsenal. And what you can see here is the cap cam planting in the opponent's final zone. So you see it at the top end of the map. Once you successfully defuse that bomb, you do then win the game. And that's how the game mode goes in this new 6 versus 6. So what you can see is you're just fortifying the position. It's so weird to feel like you're attacking with cap cam, and then you keep your gadgetry to sneak your way in or get a couple of frags, open up a line of sight. And this is just another POV of the defenders coming back to try and defend this. As you can see here, the beeper going off. They're trying to fall back towards site, get these frags, and stop that final kit of diffusing their HQ. So it is truly going to be that balance of what do you want to go for more, attack versus defense. And it's how you want to set up as well, because let's not forget that this is a respawn game mode as well. I haven't actually noted that yet, but you can indeed respawn in this game mode. If you couldn't, it would be a very long time out on the sideline watching it. So here we can see our Nomad successfully defending their base by counter-defusing the kit that was put down in their base. Speaking of player respawn, this is exactly how it's going to go. So if you die in the middle of the game, you are sent over to the respawn screen, as we can see it coming up now. You can watch skill cam, give your teammates a couple of callouts, but you get sent to a respawn screen. This also gives you the opportunity, if you wish, to change your operator, and you can also pick where you spawn. So if you feel something isn't working too well, you can just change out from your current operator and select a new one. Also, in the middle of this, you can also get onto drones, I believe, which can gain you a little bit of information if you want that as well. And here's a respawn animation, back in you come, and you're good to go. And the final thing we're looking at is the operational roster hub. This game mode, by the way, is called Dual Front. Don't forget that. And this is just going to show us what it looks like when you want to pick operators. So you're going to either spawn A side or B side. And here are a mix of operators that are currently available in Siege X Dual Front. The next thing it's going to show us is just what the main menu looks like and how you can switch between Dual Front or what is now being known as Core Siege. Core Siege to you and me is just what Siege is at the moment. Dual Front is a new added game mode, so don't worry, you're not going to be forced into playing this. But yeah, I think the new menus look unreal, and I simply can't wait to play Dual Front.